Yeah.
There we go.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's talk about it.
We're going to talk about it, presented by Bully Brand. And I'm here today with Deven Current of Lucky Duck Ink and Art. How are you today, Deven?
I'm good, man. Cold, but good.
Cold. Deven,
Yes.
Where are you coming from?
We are out of Atwater, Minnesota, which is southwest, over kind of by Wilmer.
All right. And you are up here in...
We are in Cass Lake. Yep, LogJammerz.
LogJammerz. What are we doing up here this weekend?
Ugly sweater Christmas party.
Excellent.
/ tattoo event put on by DJ Shine.
DJ Shine's here. We're going to get him on the mic later, but I'm very excited to start with you. Old friend from the Ink Fusion days.
Yes,
we
sir.
met last September. What a good time that was. Are you excited to go again?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I think you guys were one of the first signed up, weren't you?
Yeah, of course.
I think you just came with Ink Fusions at this point. And you designed a new logo, didn't you?
Yeah, yep. Oh,
We love it.
So me and Dustin have a history. When Dustin was tattooing, Dustin Ownby, me and him started our apprenticeship at the same time.
Yeah.
So we've known each other for years, and to see him start this venture and kind of take the helm here at Ink Fusion Expos I'm super excited for him. So he knows anything he's doing, I'm promoting, I'm supporting, so.
Perfect. And that's a wonderful segue into the questions we have lined up for you today. First and foremost, you touched on it a little bit with your start with Dustin, but can you share your journey into the world of tattooing?
All right. Well, starting out, when I was in high school, I didn't really... art was something I could do. It wasn't something I was super committed to, or I practiced a lot. It was just kind of like one of those party tricks, like, hey, can you draw Abraham Lincoln on this piece of wood? I
Did
could
it
do
land you
that.
chicks?
Huh?
Did it land you chicks?
Yeah.
Nice.
Nerdy chicks, but that's okay.
They're the best kind.
They actually are, yeah.
Huh?
I married one. But anyways, yeah, so it was something I could do. Art was something I could do. It wasn't something that I seen a future in. But I definitely developed a skill set, and I went to college for digital design and animation. Didn't do anything with that, and I didn't actually start tattooing until I was in prison. I did a prison sentence, and in there you kind of make money and figure out and get what you can, and tattooing was a good way to make money. It wasn't allowed. Now it is. I believe in Minnesota they have a program, but yeah, so I kind of got passionate about it there. My close friend passed away while I was in there, and he always had a dream of becoming a tattoo artist, so it was like a way to keep his legacy alive and remember him and talk about him. Clients ask about him, or they ask how I got into tattooing, and I'm able to mention my friend Chucky and what he meant to me. And so
Shout out to Chucky. That's a really cool story.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I didn't know much about that. And the prison thing is pretty common.
Yeah,
oddly.
it's definitely.
What is it? Why do you go to prison and tattoo? I mean, I'm sure there's a lot of reasons. You touched on one of it. You made money.
It's a good way to acquire the things that you need in there, as far as like commissary and clothing and whatever. But it's also, I feel like a lot of the most intelligent, intellectual, and gifted people that I've ever met have been in those situations. And I don't know, I'm neurodivergent myself, and I think it's been undiagnosed long enough that it's kind of common in there that the people, you have a lot of time on your hands, but we choose to express ourselves in different ways, which is probably why we're in those jams that we're in,
Sure.
Maybe not being able to deal with emotions or deal with changes, and it's a very typical neurodivergent thing, so
I always say you burn the candle at both ends when you have that much passion and intensity for anything.
It's
right?
a double-edged sword.
You really do.
Yeah.
But I don't know, I kind of like the results.
It can be very beneficial.
You came out on top.
Yeah, Well, I'm still getting there. I'm still learning, man.
You're still climbing. You're right. I love that. I love that. You're not there yet. I mean, when will you be there?
Never.
Good.
Never stop learning. Never stop growing.
I love it. I love it. So where did you really develop your skills, would you say? Was that in prison, or would you say when you got out?
Oh, no. In prison, it was kind of like wing it. It was very like rudimentary and like thrown together supplies and machines. And so it wasn't necessarily like, it's not super sanitary. It's not super great. There's some great art that comes out of it, but I had to relearn everything when I got out. So in there, it's closer to like a rotary machine that you make in there. It's pretty makeshift. And then when I got out, I had to purchase all my own, and it went from a rotary machine to a coil machine, which anybody that tattoos kind of knows the difference. But like, somebody that's a casual probably. So it's like the difference between the really loud machines that you used to see in the shops that sound like buzzsaws and they're plugged into a power supply versus the machines you see now that are like, they look more like a pen.
They're like a little pen,
battery, and their battery, rechargeable batteries power them.
They seem to hurt less. Is that true?
No, that's not true.
I just got tougher.
I think that's a placebo effect because it really depends on stroke length, like the stroke length of your machine and the voltage at which you run.
I think you're right that it's loud noises scare me. Yeah. So that when it got quieter, I probably thought, it hurts less.
Oh yeah, this don't hurt as much. Yeah.
Well, thanks for showing how tough I am. Okay, we got to move on to the next question. All right. Describe your design process when creating a new tattoo. How do you collaborate with your clients to ensure that your vision is realized while infusing your artistic style? So, in general, I think a lot of artists lose sight of the fact that this is still a customer service industry. Like, to an extent, the customer is always right. You want them to leave happy with a design that they feel like they had some influence on and some say in, and so it's kind of a balancing act of going between what I know I'm good at and what I know I can pull off really, really well, what's gonna last the test of time, and what the person is saying that they want. If you can find that middle ground and work with your client and give them something meaningful. And another huge factor is the experience that they have in the shop. Not just the tattoo itself that they leave with and they get to look at every day, but like the experience, the memory of getting that tattoo. I always tell people, like, a tattoo is, people are like, I would never get anything silly or dumb, or that's on you forever. Well, I feel like if you get a tattoo, it's a bookmark in your life, so you'll always remember what you were going through at the time that you got that tattoo, whether it's something silly, a llama with a party hat on, or if it's like a memorial, like a portrait. Regardless, you're going to think back to the time you got that tattoo, and it's going to be a bookmark and you're going to remember. So yeah, I mean, the experience is just as important as the tattoo, in my opinion. Well, what a great way to put that. And that was kind of the eye-opening thing the first time I went to a tattoo convention. How many people showed up just to get whatever. When they saw the artwork, and how could you not when they see the talent here? And that segued perfectly into this next question. What specific techniques or tools do you find essential in your work?
Well, the industry's kind of changed a lot. It used to be everything was hand-drawn. You had light boxes and tracing for the stencils and stuff like that. But now you see everything's very digital. A lot of things are you incorporate together. Like Apple is a great product for your iPad connects to your phone. You can AirDrop. If your client has an iPhone, they can AirDrop straight to your iPad and Procreate. And I think in general, you want a good machine, quality machine with quality cartridges or needles, whatever you use, and reputable like pigments and inks. And from there, it's artists, we're kind of picky, everybody likes what they like and they have their own preference and opinion on things. But if I'm going to be real with you, I can totally order off Amazon and Temu. Like, there's definitely tattoo supplies out there, tattoo suppliers and companies that are a little bit more expensive and people pay for the name brand. I've found that I can get by and do really quality work that I'm proud of with stuff that's half the price. Like, you know, I don't suggest it for somebody that's just starting out. I'm 5-6 years in now, so I think it depends more on the artist's ability at that point than the materials you use. But when I first started out, I wanted the $1,300 machine because that was going to make my tattoos better, you know? So, yeah.
I think it's true. A shoddy carpenter blames a tool, but like a really badass artist will take anything and use it as a tool, right? That's the fun. That's just it. So you can find any sort of medium and say, all right, I'm going to try this.
Definitely.
So, you know, what mediums do you prefer to work with then?
Like if I'm doing art, the classic, you know, pencil set is great.
Because that's another part of Lucky Duck's not just tattooing. You also sell your art.
Yeah, ink and art.
Correct.
So I've kind of figured out now, becoming a shop owner and a master artist that has, you know, helped produce some really great artists. Like I've helped people get licensed now. You got to keep growing. Like I've always been a very humble person myself in general, but like when it comes to my art, I'm very sensitive. A lot of artists are super sensitive about their art. They don't like to be critiqued or criticized or, you know, judged. Like, don't zoom in on my pictures on Facebook kind of attitude. But I'm also very realistic, and I know that if I get complacent or I'm okay with how my tattoos look, I'll stop growing. I don't want to be that artist. I want to keep growing. I want to keep learning. So, especially just recently, I've went back to working on practice skin. I've went back to painting cow skulls, like traditional Native American art, which is my culture and my background. You know, anything that's challenging. Painting is tough. I just did a big graffiti wall mural in my shop that I recently opened, and it's been so long since I tagged anything, and I don't know, I just overlooked the fact that there's going to be these crazy fumes in this room, and I left kind of lightheaded, you know. But it's fun to work in any kind of medium and learn more, and there's always somebody out there that's kind of perfected it or gotten, you know, that you can look at and learn from. So but if I had to say, I would say I love doing, you know, colored pencil or pen art, working with big pens, because in prison, it brings me right back to that. You get one shot at that. It's a lot like tattooing. You can't erase, you know.
I like that. So, I like that. So what trends have you seen in the tattoo world recently?
Well, with the economy, it's gotten a little bit tough to make the type of money I was making when I first got into the industry. There was a real boom and influx in like people wanting tattoos and tattoos becoming more widely accepted at that time. And then we went through kind of a little downslide in the economy, and as that was happening, everybody wanted to become a tattoo artist. So you see an influx in apprentices and people getting their license. So it's like those two things happening at the same time. I wouldn't say that the industry is oversaturated. A lot of like old school tattooers feel that way, but there's enough clients and enough people out here that want tattoos and badass art that I welcome everybody. Like I've seen an increase in female artists and them not being afraid to take up space in the industry. I just had an apprentice of mine who got her license that I can't wait to see what she does in the industry. Shout out Kylie Mortensen. Awesome. She is, I can't wait. Like you can tell, just you get to know her, you talk to her for, you know, any amount of time, and you see like she's meant to do this. Yeah,
I got to see some of the stuff you guys dropped on social media. She's super talented.
Check her out.
We'll make sure we'll do links to all your guys' stuff, and so people can take a look at her. And I was going to ask one more thing that isn't really on the list, but a unique part about your guys' shop is you own it with your wife, correct?
So as of right now, me and my wife are the owners, but I built it, and I am transitioning my 19-year-old son into owning the shop. I built it for him.
So even for, family-owned thing, but you're building it for your son.
Yeah.
And that's such a cool thing. Lucky Duck is a family-owned company and a family-run company.
Yes, yep.
Correct, and that's always been the plan.
Yeah, always. So Lucky Duck comes from my 6-year-old son. His name is Charles. We named him after my brother, who passed away, and I also had a friend named Chucky who was the reason why I got into tattooing. Kind of mentioned him earlier. So we named my son Charles for my older brother, and then Chucky, his nickname was Ducky, and
Oh, shut up! I didn't know that.
Yeah,
That's great.
I learned that running around doing some silly, not great stuff with him when we were younger, and he would always be embarrassed when we'd run into people that grew up with him, and I'd end up calling him Ducky, and he's like, don't call me that. Well, my son has kind of adopted the nickname, and it was kind of like a creator thing. When my son was born, he had just little things that were like signs and indicators that my wife knew by the time he was maybe a month old, a tiny little baby, that there was something different about him, and she knew right away it was autism. And I wasn't educated. I didn't know about autism. Since then, he's been diagnosed with autism. Our 5-year-old Adonis has been diagnosed with autism. I've been diagnosed with autism. So we just have like a very neurodivergent kind of family, and so Lucky Duck, it was really named after or for past loved ones and my son Charles, but Daniel, being the oldest, our 19-year-old, who's my apprentice, he has been such a big influence and help with raising Charles, because it really does take a village, especially with the kids with special needs, that he welcomes that, and he takes a lot of pride in the name of the shop, and the fact that he's 19, he just graduated last spring from high school, and he's already a business owner. He's doing what he loves. He's passionate about tattooing, and his passion reignites my passion, So yeah, that's our shop is very family oriented, very, aimed at the experience. Like I said earlier, I want somebody to come in and feel comfortable, feel welcomed, and not be embarrassed or nervous to like lay out exactly what they want, and then open to ideas from the. I feel like anybody that gets a tattoo, they get they get the best possible tattoo in that situation, with artistic freedom given to their artist. I definitely recommend do your research, find an artist that matches what you're going after, and then kind of give them the reins and see what comes of it. You're gonna get the best tattoo that way.
You brought it home perfectly, and I don't even need to ask my final question. It was right around how do you optimize the customer experience, but you guys touched it right there, and the key, I think, to you guys is that family atmosphere, because you got a big family.
Yeah.
Big, how big's your family, man?
Oh, between my wife and I, we have 11 kids.
11 kids, man, and you somehow do all this. That's why I think you guys are so cool to know.
It's teamwork, man.
Yeah.
That's what it comes down to.
And you guys are a great team. I love watching you two together.
I couldn't do it without her, and I like to think that she couldn't do it without me, So.
Shout out to Sabrina. We miss you. Wish you were here.
Yeah.
But you guys will be at where we're going to see you next.
Danbury. So my next.
Yeah, lay it all out, man. I know you guys are busy.
Yeah. So my next convention will actually be Villain Arts in Minneapolis in January, but mark your calendars. Danbury Ink Fusion Expos number 2. It is going to be lit.
We have a lot of big surprises for that one. Not just you guys, and you guys actually have a lot to defend there. I think at this point, don't you?
Yeah. No, honestly, like low key, I want to go there and help judge this next time.
Well, you should, right?
You know
guys
what I mean?
are kind of the royalty.
I mean, we took home 15 last time.
You had the first one. I remember giving you that one. That was fun.
Yeah, the first tattoo of the day, which was an honor and mind-blowing. Anytime my name gets called for an award, I think I get lucky.
The cool thing, it was you doing it on Sabrina.
Yeah,
right?
That was awesome. Yep.
That was such a cool way to start the whole convention. You set the tone for it. It was fantastic.
Heartwarming, right?
It was.
She wanted to kill me the whole time. You guys don't know that.
I got
behind the scenes thing.
What award are you after this year? Was there one that you missed out on that you really want?
I am looking at Willard Mailbear.
You got it.
From Iktomi.
You kind of have to, right?
That took home Best of Show.
Why would you not go for them? Right.
Well, and the thing is, he's like, and you mentioned family earlier. I have gotten so close with so many shop owners and artists through doing conventions and networking that like Willard, D, Coleman, everybody down at Iktomi, they're like family to me.
Fantastic. I love those guys.
These are my tattoo family, like Bully Brand, Mr. Brock. All of you guys are my tattoo family.
Dude, the conventions are something else. They're family reunions. They really are. I was so excited when I walked through the doors. I saw you. I saw D-Mac. It was great. And that being said, like, my older brother, rest in peace, I love you, Charles. It's a perfect example of, like, even though it's family, like, if I was walking fast in the hallway, he's gonna kick my shoe and try to trip me. Yeah. So Willard, I'm coming for you. I need that. That's the show. But I'm not even the biggest threat. The people right in your shop. D, she's a savage. I know. She posts Coleman, a lot too.
Coleman,
she's intimidating. And Coleman, yeah. He's a quiet threat. Yeah. That's his problem. He's so quiet. Yeah. Well, Willard too, but actually all three of them are.
Yeah, a bunch of weirdos. I think that's what makes them good at tattooing. That's all right. That's
Lucky Duck. No, it's not ours. Not Bully Brand in any way, shape, or form. Okay, I gotta let you go mingle. There might be people waiting for you to shoot. We're gonna do more stuff with you probably down the line. But Deven Current, one last plug. Where's your shop at?
Lucky Duck Ink and Art, Atwater, Minnesota.
Okay, and how do they get in contact with you? Where do they find your stuff? We'll make sure we put it all up. But
IG, Facebook, TikTok. We have business pages. We have business pages for all three major social medias. Or luckyduckinc@gmail.com. That's the direct email. You can send your reference photos there, anything that you want, questions. We will respond.
All right, sir. Well, thank you for your time. Get back to tattooing. We'll talk soon.
Yes, sir.
All right, peace. I want to hold you on. I have a surprise for you. I do. There was a time when I did this where I couldn't edit, so any dead space was like the most nerve-wracking thing in the world. Okay. I'll try and come over there. See if we can put the mic to it.
I gotta be careful, otherwise Charlie and the other guys might show up. I only do that in case of emergency. Yo, what a beautiful cameo this is. This warms my heart. From Mr. Brock for Deven and Sabrina, a wonderful married couple. You guys have overcome so much adversity to rise up in the tattoo world. And you've got a shop. And this is where we need to have a talk. The Lucky Duck. I've seen that logo. You can't just take the ducks and make it yours. I mean, you can, but you gotta break Goldberg off a little.
That's crazy.
Do the right thing. I'm just saying. I don't have a lawyer. I can't come after you. But if you want to break Goldberg off with a little something, something. That's adorable, the Lucky Duck. I think we know which one it is. This guy. Because I'm alive, so I know I'm the Lucky Duck. You guys are awesome. Merry Christmas. Have a wonderful, happy New Year. And go ahead and throw me some tattoo shots on my Instagram, and I'll repost them for you.
That's insane.
I think that'll be helpful.
That's
all right.
Insane.
Merry Christmas, you guys.
What a cool.
Right.
That's Goldberg the Goalie from Mighty Ducks.
I didn't want to be the one to say it, but your logo looked a little close to it.
It's similar.
A little. I don't know if it was inspired.
It's definitely inspired.
Okay.
If you pay attention, right, the logo has 2 nose rings.
Yep. I don't remember those. Okay, like you.
You like me. It has face tattoos, and then in the eyes it has autism colors. Okay. In the 4-leaf clovers in the eyes.
Yeah.
But it's definitely similar.
All right.
But
Well, the question is Goldberg getting a piece?
Oh, he's definitely getting a piece.
All right.
He has a great backstory too.
Doesn't he? That's why it was so cool, and I thought that'd be a cool guy to connect with,
so
right?
Amazing,
Wouldn't
man.
that be fun?
Yeah.
Maybe we'll get Goldberg to come do some stuff, some Lucky Duck stuff. Come up to a convention.
I think
He'd
we
be
need
sick
some
to have out.
tattoos.
Let's get him inked up. Oh, Lucky Duck's calling you out, Goldberg.
Let's go. Hey,
That
and
was sweet.
you sounded kind of like a cake eater. I don't know if you've been in the spotlight too long, but
He's getting inked up. A nice big face. See.
we need some
G
tattoos.
for Goldberg.
Yeah, we need some tattoos so they don't
There you
think
go.
that you're a cake eater.
Perfect. Well, we'll end on that, man.
That's
All
awesome.
right. Shout out to Goldberg. We'll talk to you later.